What's going on, guys? Just got out the gym. Whew, that was a tough one. Ran 11 miles last night and only had like 1,800 calories. I didn't eat much and I felt it today. I felt way weaker than normal. That's gonna happen sometimes. I'm actually on my way right now to get a DEXA scan. It's been about 4 weeks since I got the last one. Last time I was about 16% body fat, weighed about 171, and I was like 168 in the morning. So the DEXA told me I was 171. So this morning I was 162. So that's 6 pounds lower than 4 weeks ago. So I'm really curious to see how lean I am today. I'll show you guys in a bit. Hey guys, so before I go in right now, my appointment's in a few minutes, and I was sitting here in my car just thinking, and I was like, man, my whole life I've always heard people say it's not just about how much you sleep or what you eat or the energy that you're physically getting physiologically, but I've always heard for years people talk about, energy is a choice, and when you connect with love, compassion, just something outside of you, we're able to push deeper than we've ever been able to push. And it's crazy to think about because it's something that I've been really playing with and like dissecting and just looking within for the last several years to like really be able to dig deep, right? And connect with people and connect in a way that I've never been able to connect. And I've been learning so much about this, about when we get outside of ourselves, like when we truly get out of ourselves and we don't make it about us, we can go way further than we could have ever imagined. Some of you guys might be thinking, well, like, yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. Like that's what I believe in. And honestly, like I'm happy and I'm glad that you guys do that. But for me, it's been something that's been difficult to figure out and like really dive into. And I've been diving into it as much as I can to really figure out like if everything that I do in my life today is not for myself but for others, like what would that look like and where does that energy truly come from? And I think it's because when we're doing everything for ourselves, like we get caught up in what we're thinking, feeling, and experiencing. If we get caught up with what we're experiencing, then we're going to be tired, we're going to be sad, we're going to be depressed, and there's always these thoughts and feelings that we're experiencing that just hold us back from what's actually there and focusing externally from us. And so it's something that I try and remember every single day. And like, where can I apply that with my friends, with my kids, with the business? If I don't make it about me, right? If I don't make the money about me, if I don't make being tired about me, and I choose to focus every single day and every single minute throughout the day on something external from me, something outside of me, like what would my life look like, right? Like this whole weekend, I really spent most of the time by myself and just contemplating this and thinking about this. And I really was able to go deep in the business. And I realized, I'm like, man, this business can actually be far bigger than I even imagined if I got outside of myself. If I focused on the strategic partners that I have, on the employees, and like really looked deeper than what's actually there, it would allow me to see something differently. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs who usually figure it out and what I just said, they probably perceive it from a different place of like, okay, well, if this is not working, I got to look at this because maybe this is going to work. And hey, when you look at it from a analytical level like that, it's going to work. But I feel like you end up getting caught up in just the next thing versus actually seeing the bigger purpose, right? Like, what is the bigger purpose? And it's something that I've been sitting with a lot these last couple months of like, what's my purpose in life? Like, what am I truly here for? And what am I truly here to accomplish? And like, the money's going to come. Like if we do the work and we go towards our goals, like the money's going to come. That's not really a question, right? And so if that's the case, then how else could we create abundance in our lives when we don't focus on ourselves? And could it actually be bigger than we ever imagined? I mean, Tony Robbins talks about this all the time. He went deep into this rabbit hole of self-development, NLP, and because he really believed that every single human has the potential to create maximum results, right? We see this all the time with artists, with musicians, with athletes, with politicians, with entrepreneurs. Like they have been able to tap into something that most people can't tap into. And I think that's the reason why most of us kind of get stuck and live an average life, right? And this is not to demean anybody. This is not saying that an average life is bad. For all we know, that is where they're excelling, right? That is where for them, they're really truly living their fulfillment and their purpose, right? So we don't know who is and who isn't, and that's why we shouldn't judge like where people are at. But I do believe that there's a lot of people out there who are not living, let's say, and when I say average, I mean like, you just spend time with your family, you go to your 9-to-5 job and you just enjoy every day to day, which is beautiful. Like there is nothing wrong with that. But I know there's people out there who are living those lives who are just unhappy and they don't feel fulfilled and they just can't figure out, what are they really here for and what things they should accomplish. And I really believe now that all those people, and including myself, who are stuck in those places, because all of us were stuck. We're stuck whether you're excelling in finances, or excelling as an athlete, or excelling in anything else in your 9 to 5, excelling with family, or not, whether you are or you're not, there's a lot of us that still feel like we're not truly fulfilled. And I think that comes down to the fact that we focus on ourselves too much, right? And so what could we create in the things that we're doing when we focus outside of ourselves? And I think that's going to be really my big mission this year, is to figure out like what that looks like, and how can I tailor my life in my business, with my family, with my loved ones, in a way that is not about me, but about everybody else. And I'm starting to really believe that that is the key to creating the life of your dreams. And so I'm on a fucking mission to figure that out, because I want the entire world to know, like, what if there is a different way to go about life? And I could be wrong, I could be right. I don't know, but I'm gonna do everything it takes to figure that out. And I'm really hoping that this helps some of you figure out your lives, because I know a lot of us, like, again, it doesn't matter where we're at, we're still trying to figure it out. We're going to figure it out as long as we truly believe that there's a way. Like, there's going to be a way. And I think the universe will provide that pathway, and your subconscious will create those pathways, because what we focus on is what the universe gives us. And so I'm going to go to my DEXA scan now, and I'll see you guys soon. Here we go. I'm going to Body Spec. I've been using Body Spec for years. So let's see if I gained muscle and lost fat.
Hi, how's it going?
Hey, pretty good. How are you?
Good. Your name?
Jaime?
Great. Justin and Nikitar.
Awesome.
Let's get started.
Let's do it.
My name is Simeon. I'll be helping you out today. You can go set your things there on the chair inside to your left.
What's going on, guys? What a day. What a day. What a day. Matt, you know what? I fucking love my life. Like, I just love my life. Like, I, for the first time, can absolutely say, and I've been saying this for like probably about a week or two now, I just love my life. Like, I can literally do whatever I want, whenever I want. It's not even just about that. Like, I've been able to do that for years, but there's just like this level of like peace that I have, and I have not had this level of peace in years. Like, I don't remember the last time that I did. And honestly, I've been just such a good mood lately, and I feel like my life is finally becoming what I've always wanted it to become, and I'm living my life the way I wanted it to become, and I'm being who I want to be. Guys, when you do the work from a emotional standpoint, psychological standpoint, from a growth standpoint, from a spiritual standpoint, from everything and anything, like, it takes years, sometimes years and years and years. Not sometimes, I think it takes years for everybody, but like, you eventually get to a point where like you find peace, and when you find peace, you're able to move so fast. I'm just like super excited with the way things are lining up right now. I had somebody reach out to me earlier today, and they basically, I'm not going to tell you guys exactly what it is, because it's confidential in the sense that I don't really talk about this part of my life. It's more so on the spiritual side. And long story short, what I'm trying to get at is that somebody basically asked me and invited me to become the head of a certain, basically become the head of a position for this program that I'm in. And basically what this position entails of, like, I won't get into the specifics, but like, what it encompasses is basically being I would say a really, really good communicator. Like, in order to do this job and do this job effectively, in my opinion, from what I heard, is like, I'm gonna have to be a really good communicator, because I'm basically going to be communicating to the group that I'm a part of, you know, what they have to say, and then go to these external meetings, which is more of like from a higher position type place. So like, I'm part of a nonprofit group, and then that nonprofit group is like a small group within the bigger scope of it. And so basically, I guess I was selected to be the head communicator when it comes to our group, to go to these meetings with like, not the higher ups, but basically it's more so, it's these groups that get together multiple times a year, where they basically go over all the ins and outs and what is changing in this nonprofit world of this specific thing that I'm in. And I know that sounds very vague. I know it sounds vague, but like, I'm not ready to talk about it just yet. And you know, long story short, like, there are hundreds and hundreds of these groups that I'm a part of, like just like the one I'm a part of. And so one person out of each of these groups goes to these meetings, right? And there's only about 5 of these meetings throughout the whole country. And so dozens, hundreds of people go to these meetings and basically communicate back to their home group and tell them like what is changing today in this world, in these groups that we're in, like what are shifts are happening. And again, I know this is vague. Some of you guys who might be a part of this might know what I'm talking about. even though I'm speaking very vaguely. It's like one of those things where like, if you know, you know. And again, I'm just not ready to share and talk about it just yet. But the reason why I'm sharing this is because just this weekend, I was thinking about like, what is my mission in this life? Like I think I shared this in the last couple of videos. Like I'm really trying to figure out what that is. And there's something about communication and something about delivering a message to the masses that just keeps sticking out for me, which is part of the reason why I do these videos. Like there's just something that keeps calling me, the universe or God or higher power or like whatever you want to call it, my intuition. Like there's so many, it's all the same thing, guys. Like I say this all the time. In my opinion, it's all the same thing. And there's just something that's calling me regarding that. And it's just interesting to know that this weekend I had like this big vision. Like I was with myself meditating hours and hours this past weekend. I usually do that like once every month or two. And I again saw this vision of like, you know, there's something there for me that I get to do. And look, I could be totally off. I don't know. But if there's one thing that I know is that when I trust myself and I follow my intuition, usually things play out right. Highly recommend you guys do the same thing. Like we all have that intuition, and the more we listen, louder it gets, and your life will completely change, in my opinion. And so the fact that this person invited me to basically be the head person for our group, to do that, I told this person, I was like, that's a big responsibility. Why are you guys asking me? Like I was like shocked, like what are you talking about? Like I was open to it as soon as I heard it, and then when I didn't really know what it really entailed, and when she told me what it entailed of, I was like, oh boy, I was like, I got nervous right away, because I was like, this would kind of like set me up to go towards that path. Like it'll force me to pay attention to people, to listen to people's concerns, and actually come from a caring place, and to be able to communicate effectively. And I was just like, this is wild. Like this just happened a couple of days ago, and now, you know, they're inviting me to be the head for our group. Honestly, as soon as they told me, like one of the other things that I thought about, I was like, I'm not qualified for this. I feel like I'm the least person to do this. But it's just crazy, the timing of it. And this person was like, honestly, you're the first person that popped in my head. Like I really believe like you'd do a great job. And I was like, what? There is no way this would have happened 6 months ago. There is no way all the work that I've been putting in the last few months would have gotten me here if I didn't do that work. And so I just honestly feel like my life is starting to line up to where it's supposed to. And that's what I highly encourage you guys, is like, do the work, like really do the work. And it's not just doing the work to like make money. It's not just doing the work to make your dream come true. Like that's part of the work. You know, I'm not going to make $1 million a month if I'm not doing the work. Like obviously if my team's not doing it, I'm not going to do it. But it's always bigger than that. It's always bigger than us. And so that's what I'm inviting you guys into looking at, is like, how can you look at your life and look at your goals from a higher playing field, right? If you can really detach yourself from that, you'll be able to see things that you were never able to see. And so I'm super excited. I will promise you guys, I will tell you one of these days, but it's just something that's not really talked about, honestly. Like people who are part of these groups, it's just something you don't talk about. It's really meant for, you know, people who it's really meant for somebody who's looking for this type of work. And once you're in the work, you'll understand like why you're in the work. And again, I know that sounds vague. If anybody has any ideas, drop it in the comments. But you know, I'm just excited. I want to share this with you guys. I don't know what that's going to look like. Don't know what's going to happen, but I said yes, I'm jumping on board, and here we go now. So I'm on my way to pick up the kids right now, and then I will talk to you guys later.